citizenship, man. Because if you don't, then they're just preyed upon by people that will take advantage of the fact that they're undocumented and not pay them what they're legally supposed to pay them and not give them benefits if they're legally supposed to have benefits. And they can't say anything because they're worried that immigration is going to get called on them. So these people are in this constant state of anxiety. And then they hear about the ICE raids, like at Home Depot. Like, what the
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has been linked with the Sinaloa cartel and is now being expedited from removal from the United States. This is insane.
Joe Rogan has peeled back the curtain on the shocking circumstances surrounding the arrest and potential deportation of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Rogan passionately argues that before any drastic actions are taken, authorities must carefully investigate the facts. He warns that jumping to conclusions risks turning an immigration issue into an injustice. In Rogan's words, not every immigrant is a criminal, and a rush to prosecute based on suspicion alone sets a dangerous precedent. He calls for balanced humanity and due process in Julio Jr.'s case.
Why? Like, I think, as crazy as it sounds, the only way to do this and look like you have a heart is evaluate people on a case-by-case basis. Like, there's good people. There's good people.
It's also so complicated because it goes back for so long. And the thing now is that there's two very polarizing opinions of what America even is or represents or what job it's supposed to serve to the world. So, like, you know, in some, yeah, sure, there, like for any country to exist, there has to be something there that identifies what it is as a country. And it just seems like without citizenship or without some definitive thing of who's a citizen or not, it's like, then it's not even a country.
Rogan didn't hold back as he criticized what he sees as a disturbing trend in U.S. law enforcement, the unjust targeting of immigrants. According to him, simply appearing suspicious is enough to get someone branded as a criminal. Many immigrants, Rogan says, are law-abiding green card holders, yet still get slapped with gang-related charges based on stereotypes and vague associations. He argues these sweeping accusations create unnecessary trauma, and worse, destroy reputations without proper cause.
Like, to support just rounding people up and just assuming they're all gang members. I'm not saying they're doing that, but this is the worst case scenario, right? Yeah. They get a bunch of people in a room, they rope them all in, and one guy's just someone's cousin picking someone up to give them a ride home. That's possible.
And now you're back on the one innocent person. Now you're right back.
And what if that dude is not doing anything wrong and he's got some stupid tattoos and they decide that this guy's a gang member and now you're in a prison in El Salvador and you're not even from El Salvador. And now, you know, you were just a hairdresser or you were a tattoo artist.
Family
or whatever
man.
you are.
Yeah.
You came over here and maybe you got a green card and maybe you don't. Maybe you were just given asylum because a lot of people from Venezuela were given asylum in America.
Yeah.
And then you get shipped to El Salvador where you're not even from El Salvador. So that the fact that exists scares the shit out of me.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s arrest sent shockwaves through the boxing world, especially in Mexico. For fans, the news was jarring. How could one of the sport's most recognizable names be facing serious allegations? His high-profile public appearances and boxing career gave no hint of trouble. The timing and secrecy around the charges have left fans suspicious. Was this legitimate legal action, or was there more behind the scenes? The sudden nature of the arrest has fueled theories of ulterior motives at play.
Noticia de última hora, el gobierno de Estados Unidos acaba de anunciar que han detenido al boxeador mexicano Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Sí, mi gente, esto tan solo unos pocos días luego de que tuvo una pelea muy grande contra Jake Paul en Los Ángeles. Así es, mi gente, y si no me creen, solo vean el comunicado que acaba de publicar el Departamento de Seguridad Nacional. El 2 de julio, ICE arrestó al boxeador mexicano y alien ilegal criminal Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Ahora él está siendo procesado para ser removido expeditamente de los Estados Unidos. Este asociado del cartel de Sinaloa tiene una orden activa de arresto en México y está siendo buscado por estar involucrado en el crimen organizado, el tráfico de armas de fuego y explosivos. Bajo el presidente Donald Trump, nadie está por encima de la ley, incluyendo atletas famosos a nivel mundial. Y pues la verdad que esto es una locura total que no me esperaba para nada, pero bueno, demuestra cómo está la situación actual en Estados Unidos. Eso dicho, déjenme saber qué opinan, difundan para que todos sepan y como siempre recuerden que cualquier cosa yo los mantendré informados.
What deepened suspicions even more was the timing. Julio Jr.'s legal troubles emerged almost immediately after his blockbuster match against Jake Paul, a bout that drew millions of viewers. Critics are asking why the arrest happened so swiftly after the event. Was law enforcement waiting for the right moment? Some speculate that officials deliberately delayed action to avoid disrupting a high-profile money-making event. Either way, the shift from boxing triumph to legal scandal has many questioning who knew what and when.
Just days after losing to Jake Paul, boxer Julio Chavez Jr. has been arrested by ICE and may be deported. The allegations include trafficking firearms, ammo, and explosives. Apparently, a cartel affiliate has an arrest warrant for him back in Mexico. This is from a statement of the Department of Homeland Security. We've seen a lot of ICE activity around the sports world recently, including the Dodgers claiming they denied them entry, including a now-deleted Facebook post that ICE would be at the FIFA Club World Cup in Miami. Pretty insane story. Let me know what you guys think and follow me for more. I'll be sure to provide you guys updates.
A key twist in the case involves Julio Jr.'s personal relationships, particularly his ex-wife, Frida Munoz. Her previous marriage to the son of a powerful cartel leader has raised red flags with immigration authorities. Even though there is no public evidence linking Julio Jr. directly to organized crime, the mere association has been enough to jeopardize his efforts to remain in the United States. It highlights how guilt by proximity can affect high-profile individuals navigating a hyper-cautious immigration system.
Again, I knew that Chavez was having issues with the law in the past and, had his drug issues. I didn't know he just got arrested on a weapons charge the year before. And I definitely didn't know that he was in some way linked to the Sinaloa cartel. But the Zone announced it on the broadcast. I don't know if that's something like it inadvertently triggered the Department of Homeland Security to be like, oh, he's in the country, we need to go get him. Or just the fight itself being in America was like part of that. But I'm pretty sure Chavez was already living in America. I don't know. But this is just insane to think that this boxing match potentially was a massive part of the reason he has now been, detained and is going to be removed from the United States on, active weapons charges. So we keep reading. In August 2023, he entered the country legally with a B2 tourist visa that was valid until February 2024. Chavez is also believed to be an affiliate of the Sinaloa cartel, a designated foreign terrorist organization. ICE arrested Chavez in Studio City, California on July 2nd. So yeah, Chavez, I guess, is living in LA. So they arrest him, and it says on April 2nd, 2024, Chavez filed application for lawful permanent resident status. Chavez's application was based on his marriage to a U.S. citizen who is connected to the Sinaloa cartel through a prior relationship with the now deceased son of the infamous cartel leader, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Chavez Jr. is married to the former wife of El Chapo's son. Oh, no, bro. Oh, God, dude. Again, I just keep thinking maybe they made a mistake. Maybe Chavez, is being mistaken for somebody else, or it's not that. I don't know how serious this is, but he has a weapons charge, and he's married. Not to say this is connected, but the lady is a U.S. citizen, but she's also the former wife of the son of the most famous cartel leader ever.
Julio Jr.'s arrest by ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, unfolded dramatically in Studio City, California. The high-profile nature of the arrest, combined with the involvement of multiple federal agencies, indicated that this was not a standard immigration case. It was framed as a national security matter, not merely a question of residency or paperwork, raising the stakes significantly. The government's posture suggested deeper, potentially dangerous associations in Julio Jr.'s personal network.
In the world, I did not know any of this leading into this right now, this moment. This is crazy. On December 17th, a U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services made a referral to ICE that Chavez is an egregious public safety threat. However, in a DHS law enforcement system under Biden administration indicated Chavez was not an immigration enforcement priority. Then, on January 4th, 2025, the Biden administration allowed Chavez to re-enter the country and paroled him into the country at the San Ysidro port of entry. Following multiple fraudulent statements on his application to become a lawful permanent resident, he was determined to be in the country illegally and removable on June 27th, 2025. This is a day before his fight. So hold on. They were tracking Chavez Jr., I guess, after multiple fraudulent statements on an application for permanent lawful residentship.
The ripple effect has hit Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. hard. Widely respected and revered as a legend in Mexican boxing, the elder Chavez now finds his legacy clouded by his son's legal issues. Fans around the world have expressed both sympathy and sorrow, recognizing that a father's greatness can be unfairly overshadowed by the controversy surrounding his family. Years of dedication to the sport and national pride are now being weighed down by a scandal that may not even be as to bear.
Boxing icon Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. has shared a statement in Spanish on his social media, and I'm going to translate it for you to English and share with you what he said in Spanish. Obviously, you heard the news, breaking news. This really shocked me because I know Julio. I've known him for many, many years. He's one of my favorite fighters in boxing because he's a tremendous human being. None of these accusations make sense to me. They say that he's part of a Sinaloa cartel, that he's involved with importing weapons and ammunitions and all kinds of stuff that's so far removed from him, it's not even funny. So here's the statement from Chavez Sr. In essence, I'm going to translate this, but he says the family wants to respond to the statements that have been made by U.S. officials, and they say, hey, we are deeply dismayed. The family is caught off guard by this situation, but it says difficult times. We are totally and have unconditional support for Julio. We fully trust he is innocent, and I believe that as well. They say they're going to wait till the justice system in both Mexico and U.S. do their process. They do believe Julio will come out innocent of all this, and they want people not to jump to conclusions. They also say Julio, above all, is a son, a father, a human being who has faced multiple challenges in his personal and professional life. As a family, they say, Julio says, we respectfully ask the media to wait for the process to unfold to see where it goes.
In the face of growing public scrutiny, Julio Sr. issued a heartfelt statement defending his son. He pleaded with both the public and the media to avoid rushing to judgment. Let the truth come out, he urged, emphasizing the need for due process over sensationalism. His appeal humanized the situation, reminding the world that behind headlines are real people with families, pain, and dignity. His words resonated deeply with fans who believe that justice must be earned, not assumed.
Here. They said they're not going to do any further statements at this time. They appreciate is to allow the authorities to complete their investigation and do their work. This statement ends. I'm going to try to read to you the following again. It's translation from Spanish to English. We ask for a prompt resolution that clarify the facts in favor of Julio, and we reiterate our call for procedure, respect, and objectivity. Sincerely, the Chavez family. So Julio is asking the media to give him respect. At this time, they don't want to comment until this situation unfolds, until the authorities complete their investigation. They're shocked, they're in dismay, but they're out supporting their son, who's had challenges in both his personal and professional life.
Boxing journalist Elie Seckbach, known for his deep ties within the sport, added his voice to the conversation, and it was one of concern. He questioned the decision to detain Julio Jr., saying the fighter's character does not align with the profile of a criminal. Having interviewed him multiple times, Seckbach believed the arrest is not only suspicious in timing, but may reflect an effort to target someone based more on their name and associations than on evidence. His insights have added weight to the argument that this may be a case of overreach.
This is all a big shock, not anything that anyone expected.
Boxing reporter Elie Seckbach, who runs ES News, has been friends with Chavez Jr. for 15 years.
Unbelievable, unreal. They're putting chains on him like he's a...
He even submitted a personal impact statement to help support Chavez's application for a specialized visa.
He's a great dad. He loves his wife. He loves his kids. He's the type of person that if I do a video about a coach that his kid has cancer, he will call me 6 a.m. Hey, my lawyer is going to send you money for the kid. We're going to take care of the expenses.
But Homeland Security tells a very different story. Officials say Chavez Jr. is wanted in Mexico on serious charges linked to organized crime, accused of trafficking firearms, ammunition, and explosives. They also allege he has ties to the Sinaloa cartel.
There's always more to the story. The headline doesn't always reflect the content.
They're saying he's got a connection to the cartel.
I think they're making a mistake here.
Critics are now pointing out glaring inconsistencies in how Julio Jr.'s case has been handled. If the issue truly revolves around immigration documents, why was he permitted to headline an international fight just weeks earlier? Why wasn't action taken before? The timing has led many to believe this is more than a legal case. It may be a distraction tactic, a targeted move, or part of a larger political narrative. Some are even connecting the dots to similar high-profile legal moves, suggesting a troubling pattern of selective enforcement.
Well, crazy news in boxing. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who just fought Jake Paul, is now arrested and also got deported. This is from Homeland Security. The account, it has the gray check mark, okay? The post says, on July 2nd, ICE arrested Mexican boxer and criminal illegal alien Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He's now being processed for expedited removal from the U.S., and this Sinaloa cartel affiliate has an active arrest warrant in Mexico for his involvement in organized crime and trafficking firearms, ammunition, and explosives. Under President Trump, no one is above the law, including world-famous athletes. Our message to any cartel affiliates in the U.S. is clear. We will find you, and you will face the consequences. The days of unchecked cartel violence are over. Hear me out. Free Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Just for, like, the love of the game, the boxers, man. Okay? Like, look, if you're going to do this, there's no way that, like, Diddy gets freed, right? Just gets away with everything, right? You can be like, oh, but he got charged for this and that. He's not going to face no time. He's going to get, like, $250,000 fines or something, right? They might take him to civil court. But he gets to be free. He does not. Come on. Also, if this was the case, why not arrest him at the event? They literally said, let's watch this fight first, and if he wins, he gets to go free. They literally, Trump was like, that was such a bad performance. You're arrested, bro. I'm finding you right now. That's absolutely insane. I thought this would be, like, covered somehow, like, some news media or someone would call this out, like, he's actually doesn't have papers. Actually, he's got, I don't know about the crime and stuff. This is, like, my first time knowing about Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I know that, he fought Canelo, and it was, like, really bad. I want to go back and watch his fights because I looked through his record. I saw the run he went on and everything else I know of his dad and his work. But this is, like, insane. Also, I know that he got out of rehab just recently. Man. Jake Paul beat a cartel thug, bro. No. I hate this timeline, this Jake Paul timeline. Just go ahead and get your, boxing match out of the way and get slammed, okay? Please. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Do you think he's innocent or guilty? And make sure to like and follow for more. I'm on the road to 10K.
Observers are now turning their attention to the Jake Paul fight itself, asking whether the event was more than just a sports spectacle. Was a fight used to maintain Julio Jr.'s visibility before an orchestrated legal takedown? Some argue that his public presence made the timing of the arrest feel strategic. Then came the official statement from Homeland Security, which elevated the stakes dramatically. No longer a matter of paperwork. The case now includes alleged ties to organized crime and hints at international-level offenses. It's no longer just about a boxer. It's about power, reputation, and a system few understand.